The 20th century spanned from 1900 to 1999. We will study the music from 1900 to the present. The 20th century brought unprecedented developments. Violence and progress are hallmarks. We had a rapid change in technology, which can be good and bad, but the rapid change in technology had benefits. For example, the eradication of disease. The first 13 years brought radical changes. It was seen as a time of revolution in music. Composers broke with the tradition and rules. Key, pitch center, and harmonic progression practices of the past were mostly abandoned. The characteristics of 20th century music are the tone color. You have unusual playing techniques for sound effects. The percussion section is greatly expanded. We get new instruments. Composers write for timbres or groups of soloists. For harmony, consonance, and dissonance, we have especially the liberation of dissonance after 1900. We have new chord structures, like polychords and polytonality, which is more than one tonality at the same time. We have atonality, no, do. Rhythm and tempo have irregular meter changes, polyrhythms, rubato's gone. Some new compositions ignore rhythmic notation altogether and specify sound in seconds and minutes. For melody, we have unbalanced phrases. They're not always singable. And for texture, we have homophonic and polyphonic. For form, we have traditional forms giving way to new ideas. Some music just unfolds in front of you. Claude Debussy was a bridge between the Romantic and the 20th century. He was known for new tone colors, lighter sonorities, subtle, mysterious shades of sound. He used the orchestra like a painter's palette. He had new rich harmonies. He drowns the tonality. Pentatonic and whole tone scales are used. He was influenced by Asian music. His music obscures rhythm and tempo. It goes beyond traditional melody. Igor Stravinsky was the rhythm revolutionary because of his use of shifting meters and irregular rhythms. His was a hard-edged style. It sounds very abstract. His most famous work, The Rite of Spring, was a ballet that caused quite a stir when it premiered. Arnold Schoenberg is the harmony revolutionary. He was the father of the 12-tone system, and that is an arrangement of the 12 notes of the chromatic scale into fixed patterns. The patterns are manipulated via mathematical operations. He also developed Sprechstimme, which means speak voice in German. It is a song speech style. Aaron Copland, an American composer, was influenced by Stravinsky, but forged his own style. He drew from American folklore for topics. His most famous work was Appalachian Spring, a ballet. Chance music. This is the opposite of serialism because the 12-tone row is very mathematical and not by chance. Composers in chance music choose pitches, tone colors, and rhythms by random methods such as a coin toss, but leave it up to the performers ultimately to choose the order. Another genre that started was electronic music. It uses technological advances for the music. It provides unlimited palette of sounds and tone colors and allows composers to skip the middle step of the performers to convey their ideas to an audience. In the 20th century, you also have the use of synthesizers, recording tape, and computers. Edgard Varese was our electronic music revolutionary. He expanded the vocabulary of new sounds. He pioneered electronic music in the 1950s with Poème électronique, his most famous work. This is another new way to produce music. Musique concrète was concrete music, was pre-recorded sounds from real life, traffic noises, baby sounds, natural sounds altered in the recording process. John Lennon of the Beatles experimented with musique concrète. Computer music can be produced on home computers using sequencing software to record, edit, and reproduce digital sounds. Another new genre is minimalist music. With minimalism, there is a steady pulse, clear tonality, and a repetition of short melodic fragments. The dynamics, the texture, the harmony are all constant over time, and it carries simple forms. Philip Glass is a minimalist composer of repetitive structures. He deals in simple melodies, motives, and harmonies, repeating many, many, many times. Libby Larsen is another American composer, and she uses traditional instruments along with electronic music. Eric Whitacre is also an American composer who writes mostly choral music. He is known for his cluster chord, which we'll listen to and look at in class. He is responsible for a new thing called the virtual choir.